Okay. Hello, everybody. Testing, testing. Good morning. Live from Facebook. Okay, so for those who are joining us on Facebook, you can, join us in the chat here. Then, okay, this event is our third one. So we'll be talking about mindset adaptability today. And then this event is brought to you by Talentvis and K-On Events. So Talentvis is a recruitment executive search firm with over 20 years of experience and offices in Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, and Vietnam. And K-On Events, we help you to transform physical events to virtual and hybrid events. So the speaker for today is Jasmine, who has a dual portfolio in Talentvis. She's a team leader in Singapore as well as Thailand business leader for the Thailand operations. She also focuses on life sciences. So if you're interested in career in medical devices, pharmaceutical, bio, you can, feel free to approach her. She has over 5 years of experience in recruitment, including stints in UK, Malaysia, and Singapore. Okay, so without further ado, let's invite her on. Then, meanwhile,
then it will be me, right? Okay, so hi everybody, morning. I hope everybody has a, for local Singaporeans, I hope everybody has a great long weekend. So without further ado, I think Eunice did share about a little bit briefly about myself. As just to recap again, I'm actually the leader, one of the team leader in Singapore, taking care of life sciences labs, and also one of the business leader in Thailand. So today is not really much about a business talk. I would say today is more about talking about mindset and adaptability. So let me just brief you through on the overview. Is it very clear, Eunice, or is still buffered?
Can. Okay. You're quite okay, yeah.
All right. So today I will just cover a few sessions because we only have a 1 hour time. So we will be talking about mindset and also when it comes to mindset, people think about change. So also now the heat topic is about COVID-19, what does changes have brought, and we will talk about, the solution, how to be adaptive. And after that, we will come to the Q&A session. So before I start, let me just share with you about a small stories. So what is mindset first and foremost? I think everybody knows it's a very simple term, but in a very broad, I would say in a very broad knowledge, and you can say you can link it into all aspects, but mindset is just a way of how a person thinks. Okay, so a mindset is actually about, a person's collection of thoughts and their belief that, shapes a person through their habits. Okay, so it will affect how a person think, feel, and do, and how they can impact, how a person makes sense of the world and how they make sense of themselves. So this is in a very scientific terms of how mindset is. So before I go further, let me just share with you a little bit of small stories. So if you can look at the picture that we are sharing on the screen right now, you can see there's 2 different trees here. So I'm not sure everyone has heard anything about the oak and the willow. This is one of the famous fables of Aesop as well. So the story started off as a conceited willow had once the vanity to challenge his mighty neighbor, which is the oak, to a trial of strength. Okay, so how did it happen? If you can see based on the pictures, the oak kind of like, fought through the wind and the image looks broken to you. And of course the willow, as they are more student, so you can see them bending. So it was determined by a storm and a violent hurricane arose. So the oak was actually disdaining to give way, opposed its fury, and was torn up by the roots, where the willow bent as how the storm flows and it survived. So everyone will be thinking, what is this linked to us? What is this linked to mindset? So if you look at the current situations, the willow actually bend as how the storm flows, and at last, during the hurricane, it survived, where the oak is actually, having a very personnel attitude that it goes against the wind and it actually torn apart. So what it actually brings across is the ability of a person to look into the situation.
You don't want to run through the whole thing one, right?
No lah.
Okay, then we yeah, because we need to start soon also.
Yeah, that's
So
all. I just need to ensure that you are clear. Clear,
okay.
right? Okay.
I will do it the slide share way, the presenter view way, so that
Mm.
I can see it, like see what's the next slide going on.
Mm.
So I'll put only one participant can share lah.
Oh my god, I can see people coming in.
Ha 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 ha.
Ha ha ha.
Okay, so can you see my slide?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so with this view, I can actually, it looks the same, compared to just now. Like it's not less blur or anything, right?
No, it's not.
Okay, let me tweak it a bit. I'm trying to make it as close as I can. Okay.
But actually, I can't. When you share screen, okay, let me just do a little bit of tweaking here. Okay. Okay.
Okay, you want to go toilet? Now is your last chance to go toilet.
不用了，我去了。
Yeah. Okay.
I went already.
好。
Oops. I just closed it.
Hey, I want to play some music in the background. You got music?
No, I don't have. You want to play some?
Yeah, I want to play, but I don't have. Then I scared I play Spotify,
Then like very noisy, right?
Yeah. No, I mean as in if I wait ah. Ayo, so if you see when I swap, actually can see on my other screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means I cannot touch my screen already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot. Unless I use my other computer to play something from Spotify. Let's try.
Got one person waiting in the queue.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share into the Facebook group already. Facebook page already.
Okay.
So I start admitting people at 10 or now?
9:55 lah.
Jasmine, we admit. You,
Oh, really?
You just relax.
Yeah, and I can see that person who is in the waiting room. It's actually my family. Oh wow.
Okay. Jasmine Choong.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I know why I put IT support. Because I was helping my father to record something. Okay. So are we on Facebook Live yet?
Now doing.
Oh, okay, can. Yeah, a bit early. Can I go toilet first?
You asked me. You are so funny.
Better go now. Eunice, you want to go now?
She went already, boss.
Okay. Okay, live ready. Can live ready, huh?
Okay.
I'm back.
Oh, that's very fast, eh?
Yeah.
Ready go for a chop one, right?
Yeah, lor, my toilet quite near. Okay, I think yes, we are now streaming live.
Oh my
Hi,
god.
welcome everybody. Yes, so we are now happening. Now happening is our third installment of the Talentvis Webinar Career Advisory Series, and today we'll be talking about mindset and adaptability. So if you are seeing this on Facebook, you have a few minutes to join us in our Zoom room. So if you see the link, okay, you can feel free to click on the Zoom link directly and join us in the room itself. Okay, so we'll just give it a few minutes. We'll probably start at about 10 to 10:05. So we have a few minutes more. So, welcome to join us. Say hi in the chats and go for, grab your coffee, grab your drink. Okay. Okay, I'm going to share it too. So I'm going to look for it and I'm going to be sharing it. Talentvis. Okay. So yes, I see Talentvis is live now. And I'm going to share it too. Okay. Let me share. Okay, I'm going to host a watch party. Okay, I need the link. Yep, so today we have Jasmine here with us. Yep, Jasmine has been with Talentvis for over 3 years. She has been doing recruitment for over 5 years. And she focuses on life sciences. Right? So she's a team leader in Singapore and a business leader in Thailand. So if you want to find out, more about her, you want to ask her more things, feel free to join us in the Zoom link. And you can feel free to ask her any questions.
Oh my god. Any questions?
Related to mindset and adaptability.
Very funny.
Okay, so I've started sharing on my Facebook. So if you guys see it on my Facebook too, come on in and join us. Hi everybody. Yep, this is Eunice here. We're doing the Talentvis Webinar Career Advisory Series. So today we're going to talk about mindset and adaptability. And we have Jasmine here with us who will share more about it. So as we are waiting for people to come in, hey, maybe, have we started letting people in yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. So just hold on for a while, okay? Do we want to start letting people in?
I think it's okay. Can start letting them in already.
Okay.
2% only. It's weekend yesterday.
Yeah. Hi, welcome. Yeah, so feel free to, say hi in the chat. Yeah, later if you want to ask questions, okay, all participants will actually be muted during the presentation. So if you want to ask questions, you can type it in the chat, or you can also raise your hand, and then when we call on you, then you can unmute yourself and ask your questions. Okay, but questions we'll leave it to the end of the session. Okay. So welcome everybody. So we're just waiting for a few more minutes to have more people settle in. So if you want to go grab your coffee, you want to go grab your tea, you want to grab your milk, yeah, please feel free to do so. Yep, and do say hi in the chats. Okay. So as we're getting ready, yep. So this is actually the Talentvis Webinar Career Advisory Series. The event is brought to you by Talentvis and K-On Events. So Talentvis is a recruitment and executive search firm with over 20 years experience, and they have offices in Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, and Vietnam. Jasmine here today is a business leader of Thailand operations. So, and the event is also brought to you by K-On Events, where we help to transform physical events into virtual and hybrid events. Okay, So remember, for the housekeeping wise, if you have any questions, please, they'll be answered at the end of the session. So to ask questions, you can feel free to type it in the chat, or you can raise your hand, and then we can, when we call your name, you can unmute yourself and you can ask your questions. Okay, so in case you have a question on how to raise your hand, you can actually go to the participant list. You click on the participant icon. Then under there, under like the options of all the names at the bottom right, you will see the option to raise your hand. Okay, or you can type in the chat as well if you can't find it. Okay. Hey. Okay, we've got a bit of chat going on here. Everybody say good morning to each other. How is everybody after the National Day weekend? I mean, we're here in Singapore. I'm personally based in Singapore. I believe Jasmine is also based in Singapore.
Yes, I
So,
am.
how was your long weekend?
Me?
Uh-huh.
Well, I did a lot. I did pack up a lot of schedule over the weekend. So I think officially rest day for me is only yesterday. Yeah, so busy long weekend. And also, preparing myself, for this session today.
That's great. So you must put yourself in a positive mindset to deliver this mindset and adaptability topic, right?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a good National Day weekend, right? We all
Did you,
saw the mobile columns and stuff, and the red lions.
do you saw the fireworks or?
No, unfortunately, I mean, as in just see on TV lah, the show, right?
Man, okay.
Yeah.
I have friends who really go all the way. Yeah, I think they park somewhere and then they watch the fireworks.
Yeah, we're supposed to avoid crowds, right?
Yeah, no social distancing. Got people put it on the Facebook video. So,
Yes, everybody remember to stay safe. So even now, we're all working from home. We're all staying safe. We're all having social distancing. Yeah. But thankfully for all the digital devices that we have, we are still able to kind of like gather together in a way. Yeah. So, okay, as we are having, some more people stream in, whether you're watching us on Facebook Live or whether you're directly in the Zoom room itself, hey, let's bring in, okay. So, whether you are in the meeting room or you're watching us on Facebook Live, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, I would encourage you guys to click on the Zoom link, that you see, and then just join us directly in the room. Because on Facebook, you can see us, but you may not be able to ask us questions. So if you want to ask any questions, come into the room, say hi to Jasmine. So this is actually the third installment of our Talentvis Webinar Career Advisory Series. So today's topic is on mindset and adaptability by Jasmine. So just to share a bit about Talentvis and K-On events. So Talentvis is a recruitment and executive search firm with over 20 years experience, and they have offices in Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, and Vietnam. Okay, and for K-On events, we help transform physical events into virtual and hybrid events. Okay, and for today, Jasmine here. Okay, so she has a dual portfolio. She's a team lead in Singapore, and she's also a business leader for Thailand operations. Okay, she specializes in life sciences. So if you're looking for a career in medical devices, pharmaceutical, bio industry, feel free to approach her and send her your CV. Okay, she'll be sharing her email address during the presentation as well. Okay, so she has over 5 years of experience in recruitment, with experiences with her job stints in UK, Malaysia, and Singapore. Hey, so before we start the session, so just a reminder of the housekeeping rules. So we'll have the Q&A at the end of the session. So if you want to ask a question, you can feel free to type it in the chat, or you can raise your hand and unmute yourself, and we'll call your name and you can unmute yourself and ask your questions. Okay, so without further ado, let's hand over to Jasmine and listen about mindset and adaptability. Jasmine?
All right. Thank you so much, Eunice. Thank you, all the participants in, Zoom meetings or even in Facebook Live to, spend that 1 hour time of yourself to join us for this session. So, as mentioned by Eunice earlier, this session will be more of about, career advisory about mindset and adaptability. So, I will just go through in brief on overview about, what I'll be running through. Next slide, please, Eunice. Thank you. All right. So as you look in the overview session, I'm going to just cover in a very brief of mindset. Okay, mindset will lead to change. And of course, now the heat top topic is about COVID-19, what changes was brought in COVID-19, and how can we, the ideas and solution to be more adaptive. And after that, we will come to the Q&A session. All right. So what is mindset? So I think everybody here knows it's actually a very simple term of words, but actually it leads to a lot of effects and also a lot of changes that you have on a day-to-day basis. So in the layman term, it's actually a way of thinking. So a person mindset is about a collection of thoughts and also belief that shapes how you are. Yeah, so it will affect how a person think, feel, and do, and a person mindset also impacts how she or he makes sense of the world and also how they make sense of themselves. So I think everybody here can see the picture. All right, so I'm not sure anyone have seen this picture before about 2 plants that we have. So it's about the oak and the willow. So it's actually one of the famous fables of Aesop as well. So the story started as a conceited willow had once the vanity to challenge his mighty neighbor, which is the oak, the one that is the small tiny little plant there, to a trial of strength session. Right. So there was one day there was this storm and also a violent hurricane arose during one day. So the oak, disdaining to give way, opposed its fury and was torn up by the roots. Where the willow, the small tiny tree plant there, you see it somehow bends as how the storm flows, and after the end of the hurricane, it survived. So if you can see from the picture, the branch, the oak broke into very huge two big branches, and the willow has following the flow. So how does this link to our mindset? So if you can see, everybody we do have people around us who are the oak, who are also the willow as well. So it's about the ability to look into your current situation, embrace the flexibility to handle change, and also make the best situation to achieve success. To link a little bit now during this economic session or even your career session is that, of course, now COVID-19 has impacted a lot of changes in our personal life and overall in your career as well. But if you stand put and stand strong like the oak, which you will see, you will come to an end that you will feel very distorted and you feel very, very tired. But if you be the willow, you embrace what is coming and you kind of bend it as how the flow wants us to be, and you will see a different changes at the end. I will go through more later in the next couple of slides. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, so change. What does it mean? Okay, so change is what we define as being different or becoming different. So how does normal people generally react to change? I think to me, personally, myself, before I able to talk about this mindset and adaptability, I actually embrace a lot of changes in myself. So the first time when I joined recruitment, just a little bit brief about the story is a lot of things is very, very different. So being in the UK, being in Malaysia, and being in Singapore, it's very, very different. The way they handle recruitments. I think a lot of people here maybe been to UK or even work with, Western culture, start at 5 o'clock, they will say, okay, let's pack up and go for the drink and stuff like that, where Asia country is, we do a lot of entertainment during drinking and etc. So generally, I can share with you how people react to changes. Number one, we will feel scared. We will be very insecure of what's coming, very uncertain, and very unexpected. These 3 feelings I can strongly share with everyone here. I felt it before. not too like now I don't feel it. To be honest, I still feel it now on a time-to-time basis on certain changes, but change, definitely often leads to uncertainty, scary feeling, and also unexpected reaction that forms in every single human. Okay, so let me share with you. I think the next slide you have a better picture. Okay, let's look into this slide. I think you have a better picture now. You see, when it comes to the hit topic now in the market is about COVID-19, right? So everyone a day-to-day basis will be streaming on what is story sharing, especially for Singapore here. We will be looking into CNA news, and we will be looking into all this kind of different news across the world. Everyone will be listening to news reporter. So I think at the first couple of sessions, I think my fellow colleagues did share about changes were brought in during COVID. So let me just briefly go through as well. I think first and foremost, I think being in the recruitment world, we will see a lot of retrenchment. So everyone will be having a lot of question mark in their head. So what will be happen to your rise bowl? So what will be happen to your day-to-day? So that's one thing that you encounter. Okay, and second thing is psychology, right? So I think like Eunice did share earlier, people working from home now. There's a lot of changes in the working procedure. So in the layman terms, is that you are being locked in the house for the past couple of months. So it tends to create a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of frustration. I think some of you will agree. Yeah, and what else that is impact to change? Diet, yes, come. So I think some people will be starting to eat more, but always has been sitting down. You can't even go down. You can't even do any exercise and etc. So I think for ladies here, you will be worried about your body figure. Okay, next, I think to be add on as well, I share this 6 impact is mainly because I think this is the key impacts to us, and these are the 6 key changes that will happen on your life, on your daily life basis moving forward. So the next one will be spending pattern. So what I think everybody now want to have a question mark in mind. Why is it related to spending pattern? If you realize during your days being locked down, be it in countries, whichever countries you are in, I think you will spend a lot when it comes to food delivery. Yeah. Actually, let me share with you a little bit of story about myself. Is that during this during this COVID situation, it does happen a lot in my spending pattern. I do used to shop online, okay, but recently I think I shop a lot online. Okay, so I become more e-commerce instead of being more traditional. I used to be very traditional. I like to see things and touch things in the shop instead of buying things blindly online or just using measurement and etc. But now, it kind of changed me in terms of my spending pattern as well. So you will spend on, I believe everybody here will spend on food, spend on groceries, and even, small changes of your house. I think some of them make their house. I did see some of my friends and, some of my, colleagues, has been looking into small changes of house to be a little bit more Soho. Yeah, I can see, those IT gadgets people will be like, I have multiple screens in one table and stuff, try to change your lifestyle and change your lifestyle a little bit when it comes to COVID situation. So the lifestyle wise, what I meant here is about there's only 3 things you do on a day-to-day basis when it comes to working from home: eat, sleep, work. Eat, sleep, work. It's like you're stuck in one whole house. It's just doing these 3 things: eat, sleep, and work. And one last thing I think it impacts across the floor for everyone here is working style. We used to, if you ask me, are we recruitment, will it be a challenge in working from home? I can be very upfront to you on my experience is I do have a little bit about challenges when it comes to working from home, because we used to interact to people on a day-to-day basis, on a face-to-face basis, that you build a special relationship and you build that kind of network when it comes to face-to-face. But as time goes by, I think for the past couple of months we're doing more on a video basis. I kind of feel such changes to me is a little bit difficult because I'm still, as I mentioned to you, I'm still more of the physical person instead of more of a video. Like for example, this sharing as well. I also have early anxiety about, okay, I'm not sure how is it going to work. People see me, I don't see them, and such anxiety creates. But it's more about adapting to change. So let's talk about what kind of mindset we should have in order for us to survive on this ever-changing world. Not just this COVID itself, but moving forward from this day onwards, what kind of mindset that individually should have when it comes to the ever-changing world. So let's talk about culturing and adaptive mindset. So what is adaptive mindsets? You need to click one more time, Eunice. So what is about adaptive mindset? So what do you all understand about adaptive mindset? The previous one, Eunice, thank you. So what is about adaptive mindset here? So adaptive mindset is basically a mental attitude of assessing the facts and the circumstances of your current situation, and or even the environment, and making the appropriate adjustment to thrive at any scenario. Okay, so it's in a layman term, it's about the ability to make the most of the moment. You learn from mistakes, you develop course correction in order to grow and moving forward. Okay, so some examples that I can share with you, especially during this COVID situation that I see. So I think first, when we wanted to announce, lockdown, okay, CB measurement starts, oh my God, come. So I think everybody can see in Facebook and in news and etc. A lot of people are rushing through, the grocery stores and, the hypermarket, or even, you can see on news on a day-to-day basis, masks, your daily essential, tends to be gone in split seconds. Okay, so this is actually the first behavior that generally will happen for human, is about rushing to get all the stocks, rushing to get things done, rushing to buy, keep in the household. Yeah, this is one thing that I saw. Okay, next thing is about work. When it comes to career, when it comes to your work-wise, you will be thinking about, okay, what happens now? How the employee will be thinking what happened to the company, instead of thinking, what we can do to sustain. So all this is actually a very, I would say, fixed mindset. Okay, so we will talk about the fits and growth later, but I can share with you a little bit here. Is about all this behavior that you have is very common for fixed mindset people. So what do they think is that they think only about themselves. Yeah, they think about only them alone. So this is why the general behavior, people will just rush to get certain things done, especially during the first announcement of CB measurement. So capturing an adaptive mindset is about, during all this situation, I kind of learned something is that you will need to know what to make most of the moment, learning from the mistakes. I think after the first CB measurement, sorry about that. So after the first CB measurement, I think government starting to announce, certain household only can buy certain quantity of products. And there is a maximum quantity of each product that tends to sold off after during the first announcement. People tend to rush and etc. So it's like if you can see that the government or all the country's government are actually learning from mistakes. Developing the course of correction, and also make sure that all these availabilities are for every single household in all across the countries, and also in order to grow and also move forward as a country. But what is it related to work-wise? Okay, so I did share with you earlier about how an employee will think about what happened to the company. So let me just share with you my personal experience during the first CB measurement announced. Talentvis also was a bit chaotic. I won't say that we did have a very smooth journey in the beginning. We are also very anxious about what is going to happen, what is going to change. But I think majority of us being in the leader position, we will have to stay calm and also discuss, between, leaders to leaders, bosses to bosses, and management to management when it comes to what are we supposed to learn? So during first CV measurement, definitely the first idea may not be as workable, but as mentioned to you, adaptive mindset is about learning the mistakes, developing the new courses again to ensure that, in order for us to grow in the second or third time when we implement it. So this is about, adaptive mindset. So let's talk about, there are certain solutions and also rules to be in an adaptive mindset. So the next one we're going to talk about, it's about 7 rules. Okay, 7 rules of adaptive mindsets. Eunice. Okay, so how to be adaptive? Rule number 1. If you look at this picture yourself, acknowledge there is no right way. Okay, so before I go any further about talking about this, let me share with you a little bit of example. I did see my cousin here. I think he will be quite agreeable with me. So I kind of grew up in a very traditional environment, typical Chinese, I would say. Male is always the priority, female is always the minority. So girls, female like us, we have to always obligate to, rules and regulations. Yeah. So one strict rules and ways only we will have to follow, where, boys, they have better status in the family, so they are always correct, we are always wrong. Yeah, so I kind of grew up in that kind of environment previously last time. So once I grew up, I realized that there is no such thing. There is no one right way. Okay, the right way to do things is actually changes. As soon as someone else figure out a better way, even if it's not yourself. So if you ask me, can a man grow in their career? Vice versa, women can as well. So this is why we have this man and woman equality. So there is no such thing as, my brothers or my siblings or my cousins or whoever who do it, they are actually doing the right way. But be note that, okay, the right way of doing things changes. Be it whether it's you yourself who change it or any other people who change it. But as long as a better way comes in, change will come. Yeah. So therefore, I can share with everyone here, try out new ways of doing things or follow those who do. Okay. Whoever who is leader here, I used to lead someone who very typical mindset. I only have this. I have been in the sales environment before, so I know how to do this. I can do this. But I think for everyone knows here, recruitment is the most toughest sales job. I would say for myself currently, it's the most toughest sales job because we don't deal with a deep products like what I have here, a phone, but we are dealing with humans. So humans, we have emotions that we need to take care, everything that we need to take care of. So there is no specific techniques that you can help a person. There is no specific techniques. Okay, so for me is that please do not, people out here, please do not think that there is only one way. No such thing. You are unique. Every single one of us are unique. We have our ways of doing things, but at the end of the day, it's the result that matters. So we can always adhere to what we can be an adaptive mindset. Listen, adapt, make a change, but you can still have to try before you succeed as well. So it may not be workable for you, but it may be workable to other people. But at the end of the day, it's more about trying new things, doing new things to ensure you get the result that you want, or even follow those that you admire, or even your idol, doing things previously before that you admire and you tried it out and you follow. That is rule number 1. Okay, rule number 2. Okay, so look at the picture. I think is joy the I can't even really read that word, but it's okay. So it's about thinking outside of a box. So rule number 2, join the collective consciousness. So it's about thinking outside of the box. So the key thing of being different and being in an adaptive mindset is about understanding how to bridge the gap between you and everyone. Hello people, there is not only you in this world. We have every single one out there. 1 minute you step out, you can see another person. So it's not only you. So how to be different and being different is about understanding how to bridge yourself and everyone else around you. So there is always, I think a lot of people share in LinkedIn, I think a lot of us use LinkedIn. I think you'll always see there is always leader versus manager. why is leader so different from a manager? I think everybody knows that. So that's why it's about thinking outside of the box. We are not here to tell you what to do. We are only here to lead you. And also in this session as well, I'm only here to share with you about how to be indifferent, how to be adaptive to the current situation, and also, capturing a very positive mindset. So thinking outside the box is something that you will use on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, so there is, like I mentioned earlier, it links to the first part is there is no right way. So it's about thinking being different, all right? So next one, rule number 3. All right, everyone see the Google here with the no sign. So what does that mean? So rule number 3 is about avoid predictive hubris. So in the layman term is unless you are Google in the picture, if not, avoid those know-it-all people. Yeah, and also just to take note, Google may not be right at all times now, So sometimes we also will do a lot of research. So in this rule number 3 is about avoid those people who thinks that they know it all. All right, so a very good example that I can share, before I joined Talentvis, which is about, I think, 3 to 4 years back, I was in a very so-called know-it-all organization, I would say. To me, it's more of a know-it-all. It's very structured. Everything must be structured. You are timed to, during this specific time, you're only allowed to do this, during this specific time, you're only allowed to do that, and etc. But to be frank, I adhere to it and I did succeed. I did have a good result before I left the organization, but it was a very short term. Because what I realized is you can't race faster, you can't win faster than change. Yeah, so to me, having, so fixed type of structures, or you can say so fixed type of rules and regulation, yes, on the short term wise, I did succeed. Thank you. I would say thank you to the organization. I did succeed, but I realized that you can't race against change. You can't race faster against change. You can't win change. So change always happens on a day-to-day basis. So in order to adapt to change, we will have to accept both how things are and how they could be. So people, ideas is actually gold. Is actually more worth than anything else. Ideas is gold. So instead of immediately shooting down every single person's idea and infuriating everyone around you, why not accept it and try it out? Everyone's ideas are unique. Everyone's ideas are different. You can't say, I can't stand in here and think how my audience thinking, oh, this is something, I can't read your mind. We can't read any other minds, but there is always a sharing session that you will have between yourself and your friends, or your colleagues and etc. is about sharing ideas. So instead of immediately shooting down, so why not try and listen and also accept to it? This is very helpful in your own career. Be it to be honest, I'd be thankful to Talentvis as well. I'm actually able to climb where I am today is also because of the organization, but it's mainly down to individual. So do not immediately shoot down every single idea that people share with you. This is not the way. You should ever, if you are not agreeable to it, there is always a discussion. There is always a debate, to ensure, we come to the mutual consensus. But at the end of the day, instead of infuriating everyone around you, at the end of the day, network is also a goal. So try to accept it and try it out and work together to see the differences. So during this, COVID situation, we can't Google, right? We can't Google what should we do in our life and what should we do in our career. Can you Google that? I don't think Google can able to advise you what to do. But as a human itself, and during this session, is more about, accept this change. And embrace a better lifestyle, a better perception in your career. So to me, there is nothing about know-it-all. There's nothing that you can Google. So Google is, not able to help you when it comes to personal about mindset. So to me, during this situation, I believe everyone in COVID situation definitely did encounter a lot of changes in their own career and a lot of changes in their own lifestyle. But people, we are here to embrace a a better lifestyle and better career. So during this COVID situation, it's more important for you to set your mindset right instead of influencing other people to be like you. So we have to embrace what's coming. Whoever who is employer here and whoever who is employee here, we are not here to justify whether you're right or you're wrong. There's no right or wrong, but at the end of the day, it's more about embracing the change and looking forward what's coming for the next coming years, especially during this COVID situation. All right, so rule number 4. Okay, so rule number 4, all right, everyone can see, this man here with many, the many ideas in mind. So rule number 4 is about keeping an open mind. So it's actually impossible to accept a change you refuse to recognize. That's what it's actually meant. So many of us grew up where men's are priority, yet now if you see the law and you see the regulation, men and women are equal. So we are no longer saying that priority goes to men or whatever it is. Men and women are very, very now equal. We as one of the people now, as a human, we have to accept, people for their differences. Yeah. Otherwise, actually, ourselves will be the obstacles to change, and you will be always stuck at this point of your life. So let me tell you. So even like, for example, now during this COVID situation, okay, so are we going to allow it to hold us from living? No, we still have to live on a day-to-day basis. The world still turns, so it doesn't stop. So business owners out here, does your business stops operating when there is COVID? No, we still trying on a day-to-day basis. So to answer the questions above is no. Yeah. So we are actually required to adhere to the change and also open to new ideas to sustain what we have. I can see a lot of business owners out there are actually striving on a day-to-day basis to embrace the change and opening up new ideas to sustain what we have, even in your career. All right. So don't question what is there for you to have left, but question yourself what is there for you that you can contribute back in terms of an organization or in terms of your own mindset. So mindset to me is very, very important. Even though I'm leading a team now, their mindset is also very important. Some of them, you have to understand you all are different. There is all the people that you have is very, very different, but it's more of about being indifferent to see what they see, to understand what they feel, and also make a change. So you are not here, so the world don't stop for you. Yeah, people. So we will have to be open mind at all times in every single circumstances. So that is actually rule number 4. All right, rule number 5. All right, so if you can see the picture of rule number 5, see, people, connect. So what we are talking about here is communicate with your circles. So I think career-wise or even on a personal-wise, network is very important. To me, it's very, very important. So to recap a little bit on the beginning of the session that Uni shared about me is that I have done recruitment for the UK, Malaysia, and also Singapore. And not just that, okay, although I'm based in these 3 countries, my recruitment are generally across the Asia, so I would say APAC region. So I have done recruitment for Taiwan, I have done recruitment for China, I have done recruitment for Hong Kong. Yeah, so but how does all this works? Okay, so it's about network. Okay, sometimes the only way that you even notice change is by talking to people on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, I think sometimes it enlightens you, gives you a suddenly bling. Oh, this person said something. Oh, that's quite true, right? So that is how you should adapt to it. So when you talk to your friends or your family about implementing any change, they will provide feedback, right? I think when you do, for example, okay, I'm looking to buy a house, but you don't do a decision based on your own, right? You do discuss and you do, hear what other people has to say. So people provide feedback and comment. So what you need to do is back to the rule earlier, open your mind to new perception of change. So being able to network and then speak to people and you gather their comments is actually, they are able to guide you through how to adapt. At a very least, they'll listen while you're figuring out. Speak, listen equals to knowledge. Knowledge equals to go. All right. So next rule let's talk about is rule number 6. Rule number 6 is actually blaze your own trail. So by looking at the picture, it's actually very direct, very simple of a straight road. But the easiest way to adapt to change is to be catalyst affecting it. So although yes, you see from this picture, it's just a straight road, but if you take a look on your left and on your right, you can see different colors, different things that appear, and also in front of you, direct straight. At the far end, you can see nice mountains, blue skies, and other things, not just a straight road. So blazing your own trail is just like being like, for example, being a recruiter like us, we constantly change routines, daily, quarterly, even now during this pandemic condition of COVID, based on the economy switch and also based on the government regulations. Up to date, we Talentvis are also consistently seeking for new ideas, new solution that can provide to our clients, even it's like this period in pandemic. A lot of people now is about cost cutting, about cost saving especially. But what us being constantly different is that we understand your pain, we develop a new key solution that is able to support your current condition. Just like, for example, in your own career as well, we constantly face different changes. We consistently face challenges that we have. But like I mentioned, based on this picture, it's not just a straight road. There is always left that you can look at, right you can look at the end of the road, you can see something different. So it doesn't really matter what ring of the ladder you're on. You can shape the entire thing. You can paint the entire picture to how you want them to be. Yeah. Never allow everyone or anyone to tell you that you can't do something the way you think it should be done. Because at the end of the day, if you are wrong, at least you learn something from the experience of trying. Yeah. This is what we talk about, rule number 6. Next, which is I think is also one of the final rule that I have, is rule number 7. Question everything. If you see the man and the question mark, is like, we commonly see this logo in many of the presenters. So we tend to don't like people ask questions. This is a very normal human behavior. So when you have the tendency of don't like people ask you questions, you don't want to ask people questions as well. You act based on what you think is right. But this is not the right way to be adaptive. So being adaptive is you need to question everything. So when you're told to do something, ask why. If something changes, ask what inspired the change. Yeah, we are all given a mind and a brain for a reason. So use it wisely and use it, efficiently in all aspects. Yeah, change is actually difficult to deal with, but if you work on it, you can adapt to anything. Just always remember, people like us or anyone else out there that is listening to this, keep your head up, smile, push through. Soon enough, you will be the change that everyone else that you have to adapt to. So this sentence here is actually quite strong impact, is that because to me is we always look up to certain people for a change. We always look up into certain people because we idol them. We want to be like them. But wanting to be like them, it requires change. So maybe 1 year or 2 years or even subsequently years on the road, you will look back and think that, yes, this person here was my idol. I look up to her or him to make a change. While when you have a team or you are building your own career and your own career prospects, they will look at you and, choose you as their idol and make a change as well. So these are the rules that, that I would like to share about being being adaptive. Next that we're going to talk about is some of the very cute I would say picture that I found. So you have seen on the left side is one of the quite lazy, sleepy type of people, and another one you can see full of ideas. You by looking at the picture, you see this person is more of like a lot of energies, a lot of looking to seek for some changes in that. So this is what I call with fixed and versus mindset. So what is fixed mindset? So fixed mindset is generally someone who is constrained by their belief and thoughts. Yeah, believe people are born with special talent, and every person has different abilities and intelligence that cannot get better with time, persistence, and also effort. They fixed mindset people tends to think failures as a validation of their lack of intelligence and their limited abilities that prevents them from achieving their goals. People who are actually fixed mindsets generally give up easily. They don't want to try. Yeah, they don't even take a single, seconds to think of trying. No, to them it's a direct no-go. So they give up easily with the fear of failure and believe that they cannot improve. These are generally fixed mindset people. So what do I mean by what is their limitation? So fixed mindset, people are limiting in a way. So they are talents and abilities and intelligence that is fixed. Is they think who they are that cannot be changed. They run away from error. They do not engage with it with a desire to look smart. Couple of things, all this that I think you will take note is that the next one that I will talk about is avoid challenges. People who is around you or people who currently listen to this, you might take this a little step back, is because generally every single one of us, 90% to 95% or even 99% of us will give up. We'll try to avoid challenges, because to us challenges means change. Challenges means doing something that we are going more beyond in our comfort zone. So we tend to avoid it, and even though we know what's coming and we are kind of prepared for it, but fixed mindset people, although we are prepared, but we still raise the right flag, we give up very, very easily. And generally fixed mindset people feel threatened by other people's success. They ignore negative feedback, even though it may be highly relevant and useful. So this one I also can quote a good example is that I was used to lead someone, or some of my previous mentees. They ignore negative feedback. They don't accept. They kind of think that what is it them today is how we want them to be, but they don't think that is their problem. They don't think that is actually their mindset. There is blockage. So they tend to avoid whatever feedback that I gave, or even the negative one, especially those negative one, they totally going from the left ear and come up from the right ear. So fixed mindsets makes a person's fixed step on this ground. They can't move forward. They can't even turn to their left or their right to move. They are, staggered at where they are on their footsteps. So they tend to, look for people who can reinforce their self-esteem. So everyone is moving, but you stay put. Is there anyone else in your left or your right to reinforce you? No. Those people who are able to reinforce you on your self-esteem are mainly people who seem like you, fixed mindset. So this is something that generally is one of the key limitation as well. So other than that, they fixed mindsets personnel focus on the outcome. Yeah, since they consider result as their identity. But one last thing, it came to a surprise for me that I can share is that fixed mindset can lead to cheating and deception, because what do they think is like, okay, this idea is good, but other people are involving, even giving different things and different thoughts, but they want it to work because, like I mentioned earlier, they focus on the outcome since they consider result as their identity. So they may lead into cheating and deception. All right, this is generally about fixed mindset. Next, I will talk about is growth. What is growth? So they find freedom in their own thoughts and beliefs. So they, although like we mentioned rule number 7 earlier, blaze your own trail. So one straight route, but if a growth mindset will think, oh, I have left land, I have right land, so I can do something with my left and my right. I can see different things from my left and my right, instead of just, mindset that is straight. So they find freedom in their thoughts and also their belief. They understand, that certain people have, special talents, that intelligence varies from a person to person. I'm not saying I'm able to do this, I'm smarter than every one of you. No, I'm definitely not. But in terms of that, I do, whoever who has, greater recruitment training, I think all of us know that we are all different. Yeah, we will have, special talents that I have and certain special talents that you have, but it's also about something that you can develop and increase with effort and hard work. Yeah, my growth mindset people, they tend to take joy in the learning process. Yeah, really, I do see that some of my idol, and also they're seeking new information. So the learning process comes from seeking new information, forming new strategies, and also taking inspiration from others. They embrace difficulties and challenges as a means to develop new skills and growth. That is actually what a growth mindset is about. So I think the next pointer is about, is it freedom? Yeah, so it is. Yeah, a growth mindset is really about freedom. Freedom to, you are able to find, not just a one pointer in your thoughts and your belief. You can find multiple pointers. You are blazing your own trail with freedom. So be it is whether one straight route or what is ahead for you during this journey, during this duration, especially in your career right now, during this COVID situation. Please do not take, retrenchment as a, fallback. No, take it in a different way. Yeah, whoever who is out there who's being retrenched, of course, it's very sad to hear, but take it in a very different mindset. Yeah, you look into using the growth mindset, look into different ways and, different beliefs. It can be a start of your current journey, but it can be a new start of a new journey. So it depends on how a person mindset looks into it. So growth mindset, as I mentioned to you, look at that. What kind of characteristic they have. So growth mindset, as I mentioned to you, is freedom. Free, run freely. So they have talents and abilities and intelligence that can, develop through effort and practice. Yeah, they engage deeply and process the error with a desire to correct the error. Yeah, they embrace challenges, especially, during this situation. I would say embrace what's coming for your career. Whoever who just going to start their journey of the career, please embrace challenges. You can't expect every single career is just a very smooth journey. No such thing. You really need to embrace what's coming. Okay, persevere in the face of failures and also setbacks. Never take a set of failures. So during my starter of my journey being in the recruitment, I fall back all the way through really. During my first 6 months, I bumped into everything one shot. So at the point of time, my mindset was very fixed. I really wanted to just give up. Yeah, but of course, my mentor back then told me, you know what, Jess, you can just look into failures right now, all the things that you have been through, but the next journey for you will be better. Why not give yourself a chance? At the end of the day, mindset and adaptability for a change is about a chance. It's really a chance to change your world and change all your pathway. Yeah, so find inspiration from other success, accept criticism in a way to learn. Look for people who challenge them to grow, but not look for people who challenge you to fall. Okay, focus on the process and learning without worrying about the outcome. That is actually what a fixed growth mindset is. So the next one is just a simplified table for everyone here to see the differences. So that's the skills and also the challenges, the effort, and the feedback. So something that I would always like to share in this journey as well is that I'm not perfect myself, to be honest with everyone. I'm not perfect. I also was once in a very fixed mindset. I was once in a very, very fixed mindset that I have, no idea. Yeah, how things be. I always be very self-centered. I only, avoiding challenges. I would just go the shortcut. But being in change people, there is no such thing as shortcut. Yeah, for people here who is actually looking for inspiration in your career, no such thing as shortcut. You have to learn the whole process. You have to learn the full journey before you can make a change of a shortcut for your own. So yeah, so last I would like to talk about is, the next one, Eunice, please, thank you. Growth mindset. How does a growth mindset drives motivation and achievement? So how everyone here can get smarter, be it whichever age you're on, you can get smarter on a day-to-day basis by, learning your goals. Effort makes me, stronger, and then I'll spend more time and also work harder. All these traits are able to help a growth mindset to have a higher achievement. All right. So before I would like to start the Q&A session, I would like to share with you about this quote here that I have. Eunice, please. So, very simple quote, but very strong meaning. If not you, then who? If not now, then when? Yeah. So I believe everyone here hear these quotes before. If you wait till you are ready for a change, definitely you will be waiting for the entire life. Okay. So it's never about, oh, I am what age now? I don't think I can accept to change. It's never about the age. It's never, yeah. Mindset is something that is not born to be fixed. Yeah, it's meant to be filled with colors. I think you'll see just now my examples are all colors. So it's meant to be filled with colors and also with rainbows to filter up and also cheering up your day-to-day basis. But we as a human can't wait for change to happen. Rules and regulation on a day-to-day basis is based on humans' reaction. So we are here to make a change, be it whether how the world turns, we are still the first person who are supposed to make the change. So people really, if it's not you, then who? You can't be expecting other people to change, only you change, right? No, so you can always be the start. Yeah, being a start is not that, people watching you to set fearless. No, fearless is actually to actually make you grow and also learn from it. And if it's not now, then when? Are we going to wait until post-COVID? No one knows when it's post-COVID as well. So now everything starts now and everything starts by yourself. So everyone, thank you so much for the time. I think the next session that we have is actually Q&A. Anyone has questions? You can. Eunice, you want to lead?
Hi, Jasmine. Yeah, thanks for your session. So maybe, you could share a bit more about like during this times, you're saying that, okay, there is a question in the chat. So, there's a question that should I have such a positive mindset that I agree to every opinion, like everybody else's opinions?
To answer to that question is that I'm not asking everyone here to agree with everybody's opinion. Because myself, I don't every single time agree with everybody's opinion. But being in a positive mindset is you ask. That's the rule, right? Adaptive mindset, there's rule. I can't recall which rule. Question everything to get the answers that you want. That is get able to push yourself to see whether what other opinions they have. So we may not be I'm not asking everyone here to accept everybody's opinion and agrees to everybody's opinion, because everyone is different. As we go through this entire presentation, everyone is different. But how do you be indifferent? Being indifferent is about adhering to other people's thoughts. You try, and if it's failure, then you learn something from it. Yeah, that is to answer that question. I think we have next question.
Yes, another question. How do you change your fixed mindset to a growth mindset? I think that's a very valid question. Yeah.
Wow. My personal experience is I really bumped through a lot of hurdles to wake up in my journey for the past years being in my career. So I'm actually a very fixed mindset person at the beginning. Actually, at my college time, I'm a very fixed one. I don't care, and I just keep avoiding things that I know what's coming and avoid challenges. But there was once I avoid challenges, it gives me a very big bump in my life, I would say. So I not to share too much of personal, but I have bumped through a lot of hurdles. Yeah, to really go through fixed mindset to growth mindset. I read a lot of books as well. So during my first journey in recruitment, I need to read a book and take a test, and I need to pass the test before I can be recruitment. So it's about how I cannot give you a specific advice how to change your fixed mindset to growth mindset, but on my personal experience, it's really bumped through a lot of hurdles. Yeah, listening to a lot of people's comment, really taking criticism to change. Yeah, I really took a lot of criticism to change to see where I am today, and also be able to speak to everyone. So this is the first time as well. So previously, I don't really like to do such, but I think it's about adapting to change. A lot of things are being technology now. So, but I say, I think, hi, Justine from Malaysia. It's not about a specific ideas of how to change fixed mindset to growth, but it's really about accepting. You really need to start accepting yourself first to make a change. Yeah. Yep. That's more of mine. Any other questions?
Yeah, I think that the rules that you brought up have been very useful as well, such as like there's no one right way.
Yep.
To
I
join.
like that. I like that rule actually. There's no one right way. Yeah.
Then
And
to
also
join.
the question everything. I really like these two rules. I really, really like it.
Okay, so thank you for the highlighting these two rules, especially together with the rest, and also having a fixed mindset and growth mindset. So as we end off this session, is there anything that you would like to say to those who are listening, to encourage them during this time?
All right. I think a lot of people here wanted to learn about mindset and adaptability, but what I can share is just the basic. Yeah, I am not everyone here. I don't know what you have been through, but what I can advise is that, be it wherever you are, whichever situation you are be in, or whatever stage you are in your career or your life, never, take other criticism as a failure. People criticize because they judge, but for us around here, especially during this situation, we shouldn't judge ourselves. Yeah, there's always this sharing that people will say, one window closed, another window will always be open. So never look into what has happened. Yeah, what has happened has already happened, but moving is what is the moving forward. What's the next step that every individual should do to make a change? So this is why change happens on you yourself instead of waiting for other people. Yeah, that's more of mine.
Okay, thank you so much, Jasmine, for your time with us this morning.
Thank you so much, Eunice.
Yeah, so just to share, this is Jasmine's email address as well as Talentvis email address. So if you do have any other questions that you would like to ask Jasmine, you can feel free to email her, or you can email to Talentvis as well. So with that, thank you everyone for joining us on this session, and have a nice day. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for watching this webinar. We have come to the end of the session. Have a nice day. Goodbye.